Ooh.
The flag on every...
Oh, fuck off. Let's get that. America? What the fuck is going on? What's going on? Brian, can you introduce yourself? Who are you, mate?
Brian Gamble. I'm a man who comes to DC to try to help things better for people, but as you can see on the lampposts, we have an uphill battle just like you guys do in the UK. So unfortunately, there's dark elements that work across the ocean to take down both of our freedoms. They oppress us and empower those who seek to destroy us, as you can see.
Can you explain what's happening today? Where are we going today?
We're going to go to an event today over at the Homer Building here in DC to talk about election integrity in the United States, because as the world saw in 2020, the election was stolen. I mean, to be quite honest.
Well, we're continually told by any media, any presenter, any journalist, everyone in the UK will say that's a conspiracy theory and that's a lie.
Right. They say that because they don't want to look at the evidence. They don't want to look at all the evidence that's been collected. They keep falling back on the courts. Well, the court said. Well, the thing about the courts is they're weaponized against the people that are fighting this injustice. So you don't have to be a rocket scientist or a data analyst to look at the charts that in the middle of the night, where we're all celebrating President Trump's victory, we wake up to find in the middle of the night Biden surged ahead out of nowhere. So you don't have to be an expert to just look at the chart, the infamous chart where Biden just jumps ahead across the country. These are the things that we woke up to. Again, me and my wife, we went to bed celebrating, high-fiving President Trump's victory, and we woke up, we're like, well, what the heck just happened? There's no way. Because we watch these things, like in Pennsylvania, a certain percentage of the votes were turned in, so we're looking at the remaining count, the remaining counties, we're like, well, there's no way, Trump won this. So yeah, needless to say, they allowed the election to go on longer than election day. By the Constitution, there's a certain period of time to count the ballots, to count the votes, but they extended it and they extended it and they extended it almost as if until they knew how much they needed to defeat Trump. That's what it was. And so this event is going to be a roundtable of experts like Seth Keshel, General Flynn, Patrick Byrne, and others who were ground zero there to investigate the election irregularities that we're talking about. So the main thing is we're looking back, but we're also looking ahead to make sure this does not happen again in our country, because we look at the city like New York City. Look right today, what the city shut down for Ramadan so they could pray in the streets. So these people are coming into our country to take over these cities and these towns, just like the UK, and they're organized to go vote themselves into power so they can put up these ridiculous things on our lampposts.
Every lamppost. Brian, do you know this has been a long campaign, because when we're talking election integrity, this meeting today, you have been working, many have been working, General Flynn, Patrick, the gentleman you've named, not just been working, but since that election was stolen, they've been working full-time, coordinated, to make sure that this never happens again. Is it now a point where they have been proven right? Are we in America now where people are understanding the election was stolen, there was fraud?
Yeah, the Overton window certainly has shifted. A majority of Americans, I do believe now, understand that, okay, something was amiss in the election. They can't put their thumb on it specifically, but they know something wasn't right. And now the DOJ went into Fulton County, Georgia, where I believe was the epicenter of election fraud, and Maricopa County. But the DOJ went in
2
weeks ago into Georgia. So they know what they're looking for. But in court, see, the thing is like, unless you really investigate case by case what's going on in that district, it's hard for you to put together, because America's a big country. So people like Seth Keshel, who you'll meet today and talk to today, these are the numbers guys. These are the people that can tell you how many people are registered to vote in that county, how many voted, and all the irregularities. So that's the beauty about data. It doesn't lie. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't have a bias. It doesn't have a politics. It's just data, and he can prove mathematically that there's no way certain areas would vote in the way that they did. So these are the things that we're going to talk about today, and hopefully talk a lot about how to stop this from repeating itself.
Has there been, with all the evidence, with all the different statistical facts, with everything brought together, has there been any appetite by any of the media to report on this fairly? Has there been any balanced reporting of the election integrity campaigns?
No, not really. I think they covered the DOJ going into Georgia and stuff like that, and a lot of the mainstream media will just rehash. They'll use the same talking points, like the debunked was a big word, the debunked conspiracy theories about the election and stuff like that. But the media is not, they're not covering it in any meaningful way, unless you get into like the smaller outfits, the smaller media, citizen journalists that have platforms on social media. But other than that, yeah, the mainstream media is silent.
It's the same situation all over in the Western nations, is that the people are relying on citizen journalists, on alternative media. I guess there'll be some of them here today to get the message out, to get the message to the public, rather than relying on the mainstream media to tell them what's happening.
Yeah, Epoch Times, the Gateway Pundit,
okay,
good groups that'll just, they're just honestly reporting what's going on. So yeah, there'll be these elements of the media are what we we rely on you for international coverage and others. So we're very grateful that you're here with us today.
I'm very grateful to be here. I'm looking forward to shaking a couple of gentlemen's hands, especially Patrick's. I know that many of these people, and General Flynn's, I know many of these people have been defamed, have been attacked, and they put their necks on the line, and their reputations online, and their names online, their credibility, their livelihoods, everything on the line to speak out about this election fraud. And now I hope it's getting to a point where they're all getting proven right and people recognise what they did and the sacrifices they made.
Exactly, yeah.
Like yourself as well, Brian, on the forefront.
Yeah, on the forefront.
We met years in the shadows.
Not so much, but I try to be in the shadows. But yeah, involved in, since Maricopa, I was involved, with the effort to uncover what went wrong. I mean, what happened, and we have a clear picture. We have a clear picture of what they did. Death by 1,000 cuts, I say.
So I'm still shocked by all these trans flags on every lamppost.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Is
Washington a Republican state or is it a Democrat?
No, I think the last I looked, about 85% of people in this city are leftists.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.